And we are back once again. Ramplify the podcast from the ASB here at Victor Valley College. How you doing, Haley?
Good. How are you?
Amazing. How are your finals going? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm ready to finish strong.
Finish strong. Good for you.
And then see these wonderful people at their graduation.
I know.
Thank you.
I
We're
hope-
so
I hope
excited.
Are you
girls-
walking with us, Haley?
No, but I will be speaking.
Yay!
Okay, I'm gonna put her on blast right now. Okay,
Uh-oh.
she should be graduating. So, but she decided to change majors.
Oh, wow.
Haley.
So she technically could graduate, but she's going to stick it out one more year because she wanted to go in a different direction.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Which is good because I think it's a way better direction.
That's why I love the community colleges. It gives you a lot of flexibility.
Well, there's so many options, so that's why she decided to change.
Yeah. I want to do film with you next. I'm not done here yet.
I don't
want to
teach.
leave yet.
What do you mean film? I don't teach.
You got to teach.
No.
I want to do whatever you guys are doing.
I think half
Do
my
your
class
ASB.
would cry if they ever did a class with me. So, speaking of crying, I would like to discuss the struggles and the hardships and the challenges because it's not always roses and daisies, right? I think people were probably watching the first two parts of this podcast and being like, "Oh, they're selling all of the glitter and the sparkles." But because girl, let's be honest, you're a leopard over. You're like Shania Twain, like with the "That Don't Impress Me Much" outfit, right?
Well, thank you.
Which is like literally one of my favorite artists. Like you
really?
look amazing right now.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
but aside from that, no, it's hard work. It's hard
Yes.
work to go after
Yes.
your goals,
Yes, it is.
It's, people will give up because that is easier,
Yeah.
and I'm sure in your guys' journey, it wasn't easy, right?
was not.
So let's see, you guys moved up here in 2020. It's now 2025.
Yes.
On average, if you're full time, you finish it in 2 years. Obviously, you didn't finish it in 2 years, so it took some time to get there, but you did it.
2023 was 22 years.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
2
Okay, so you
years
did do it in
first.
2
Yes.
years.
We
But-
were like, we're going to do this and we're going to
I
give
didn't
it a
think I'd
2-year
finish in
mark.
2
We
years,
were
but
surprised.
we were always
surprised
full time.
ourselves.
I don't think we ever took
Full-time.
any type of
Yeah.
rest,
So-
even
so
summer.
What were the moments where it got tough? It got where you felt like sometimes you were at a wall.
Well, a lot of people know me as the VVC mama. I'm always bringing my newborn here. I was actually taking classes, going to exams.
They are
pregnant.
adorable, just to let you know. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I worked at the CDC as an assistant teacher all the way up until I was 8 months. And then I had just left the job on maternity leave. So being a student worker here absolutely pushed me even more. I was very determined. I said, I'm not going to let this stop me from graduating. And they work with you here. They absolutely work with your schedule, so I really love that about VVC, just being very authentic and giving, and also just being able to be flexible with students like myself. I need a lot of that because I have 3 kids now,
Did you feel every time you had a challenge come up, you being vocal, you found out, there's a resource. There is a
absolutely.
solution
Yeah.
to help you.
Absolutely, like Thrive in different places, different counselors, especially Miss Monica, Miss Shanta, Mr. Robert. A lot of you have all been counselors to me, and it kept me going. It kept me thinking, it's not so bad after all. There's always the rainbow at the end of that.
Do you feel like sometimes people's pride maybe gets in the way of them asking for the help?
I believe so, but I started asking. I would tell them, hey, I need the money now. I need the resources. I absolutely need that transportation grant. I never shied away from any of those resources, financial aid, EOP&S. Those are the things that I really held on to that's helped me a lot.
And you
A
became
lot.
successful because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankful for it.
Yeah.
Judy, what about you? What about your
man.
journey?
As
Challenges?
far as my journey, I had a lot of challenges. As I mentioned, being a single parent, I had to learn how to budget, how to use time management, resources. Some that it wasn't a pride thing. It was more or less as I don't want to be a statistic thing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people would think, hey, this is a single mom. She's going to eventually be on government assistance most of her life, and a single African-American mom. I wanted to make sure that I made sure that I was not going to be a statistic. So prior to me moving here, I had to work 3 and 4 jobs to maintain the household because I did not get child support. I didn't get any of those things. And so I did get a little assistance at one time from the government, which was hardly nothing. And I was like, for what they make you go through, it's not worth it. So I worked, and the sacrifice was having the kids be latchkey kids, but because I couldn't afford a babysitter. So the oldest son had to watch his siblings and things like that. So I made sure they had videos,
pot of food on the
pizza,
stove.
food prep. I would do that, a week, in advance, so they could make sure they could just pop it in the microwave. Now, after my youngest moved out, I was like, wow, the only resource I have now, because I was sending money, home, which is New Orleans, to make sure my mom was okay. But unfortunately, she passed away. So it's a lot of resources that I was pulling from resources I hardly had to take care of my family, so that's just who I am. So the only resource I had was my home. I was like, this is it. I have nothing else monetary to help me survive. So selling a home was the best thing I did. Okay. And so when I moved here, it's like, hey, let's go to school, because the jobs, I'm a particular age, I would say that. And sometimes
I am too. So it's okay.
ageism-
I get it, girl. I get it.
ageism does play a part, so we can't shy away from that. That is true. So I was like, hey, let's go back to school. I'm going to make sure when I do get out there, I'm going strong. I'm going to pick up where Kershell left off in the culinary business, but we're going to be bigger and better. I even trademarked 2 business names already. That's Mardi Gras one, and Cajun Fix on Route 66 is the second one.
Cajun Fix on Route 66.
Yes, so look out for us. So we're going to be looking for support from the community.
And that's the first time she's actually saying that. She's
Yeah.
also kept that a secret.
You heard it first here on
You heard it first
Ramplifi.
here.
Yes,
Yep.
and so I want to make sure, because as a student, we're here most of the day. We pretty much live here because we're in school, and here as a culinary arts student, I'm in the lab most of the day. When I leave, I go to work in EOPS as a peer advisor. So I'm here like 15 hours a day. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so hard for the ones that don't have anything hot to eat. So what I want to do, I spoke with Kershell, we're going to try to make sure at least once a week, we're going to provide a hot meal for the students that can't afford it in the dining room or in the Desert Ram Cafe. So that's what I'm passionate
Just
about.
working them on-
So as
working
far
them
as being in a spot where it was hard, I have stories that you guys don't have enough time for me to share.
Yeah.
So
We could bring you back for the next season. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
So pride has never been a part of my forte. So I never have an issue with asking for help.
Absolutely.
And I always tell my fellow peers or anyone I know, hey, if you ever need help, please come to me, even if it's just a conversation, even if it's a life experience that I could share with you and how I was able to resolve that or navigate through that.
That's
I'm
the
here.
beauty of the struggle. When you're seeing other people needing the help,
Yeah.
you're also opening up your heart to that and your doors, because we've been in that position before. So.
Sure. We will be right back here in just a second to finish up our interview here with Kershell and Judy. Don't go away.